Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Sports with Mono and Mono. It's October 16th, 2021. Fall is rapidly approaching. I'm here with my partner, Steve, junior member of Mono and Mono.
Junior member.
Just saying, from an age perspective.
Yes.
Not from a knowledge perspective.
No, we're co-equals.
Certainly are.
Mono and mono.
That's exactly what the name implies. So,
Welcome everybody to the show.
yeah, welcome back. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, but usually before we kick off, our monologue is sponsored by Coriano Trucking of Summerhill, New York, and as always, we thank them for their support. So I'll turn the mic over to Steve.
Thank you, Jim. Obviously, this week, I think the stunning news of the week was John Gruden. I didn't see it coming. Nobody saw this coming. And I just been back and forth on this. I'm not just going to sit here and throw him under the bus and say that he is a racist, he's a homophobe, he's a misogynist, he's everything. I'm just trying to be objective here. I'm 56 years old, and as you mentioned, I'm the junior of the two of us. So my only point is Gruden is sitting there 10 years ago, not working for the NFL, and obviously doesn't realize once you put something into cyberspace, it's there forever.
Right.
Okay? And I'm not defending his words. I'm not defending his actions. But all I'm trying to do is point out that John Gruden's even older than me. Older than us, I think.
No, he's absolutely not.
No, I think he might be right in the middle then. But my point is the culture that we grew up in, okay? To a point. And I'm not excusing it, but I'm just trying to... People keep saying John Gruden is this, that, and the other thing. John Gruden's name is coming off the Ring of Honor in Tampa Bay. So my point is, what if John Gruden emailed and said, Michael Sam is a homosexual, as opposed to what he said? What if he said this, and what if he said this more in the politically correct terms of today's society? But everybody's out to get everybody, okay? And again, I'm not defending John Gruden. I'm just trying to say everybody jumps down everybody's throat and catches you, and you're gone in 2 seconds. And I just want to finish on this, right? We remember Al Sharpton, and we remember Tawana Brawley's story from 1998. Okay, you talk about a double standard. You talk about a cop named Stephen Begonis, whose name was literally dragged through the mud.
District attorney.
Right. Well, I think he was a cop at the time. But the point is, Al Sharpton is on TV 30 years later, and I could go on and on. So John Gruden deserves to be fired. I want to say that. And but I just wanted to take a pause and say, let's be, try and see the other side a little bit.
Okay. Well, listen, it's not a surprising monologue this week because it's something that's, certainly prominent in the news. And again, I feel the same way about John Gruden, that yes, he had to be fired. Of course, he resigned, of course, before, but there is no place in the sports world for this kind of stuff because they're going to out you, and you're going to pay the price. And he's paying a major league price.
John Gruden is never working in football
Again.
at a college level.
Exactly.
He may in 5 years.
And I get it. And I'm certainly
high school or something.
I'm certainly not defending John Gruden, but you know what? He had to pay the price. This is bigger than we even expected, and you're right. You sent an email 15 years ago and you want to run for president, well, they're going to find it and it's going to come out. And if this is how, he's been acting for 20 years and yet, the players said, they were great. And then, of course, Keyshawn Johnson came out and said, he didn't like them. He certainly liked them when they won the Super Bowl, stuff like that. But it can't go on in sports today. That's right. My point.
And really the essence of my model.
And some of these were really acidic type emails, though. I mean, what he said about DeMaurice Smith is just unforgivable. I mean,
but my point is, the essence of my monologue is, I have yet to find, and I like to think I'm the closest thing to it, the perfect human being who's never made a mistake.
It doesn't exist.
But that's my point.
Yep.
That's kind of what I was beating around to.
Yep.
All the finger pointers. Maybe you should look in the mirror, because there isn't somebody, any of us listening, talking now, you know, and I know, that
Yep.
doesn't have a skeleton in the closet
Yep.
that you don't want anybody to know about.
Right.
And that was kind of the essence of
I got it.
how quick it is for everybody to jump on somebody and label them to
Yep.
be this monster. And also, let's real. John Gruden didn't murder anybody. He didn't rape anybody. He didn't do this, that, and the other. He didn't drive drunk and kill somebody.
Yep. Well, the
Okay?
old phrase is words have more consequences than actions.
And we're
right?
seeing that.
Yep.
Okay, but the point is, he definitely deserves what he's getting.
Yep.
But
Chucky no more.
I just
right?
wanted to throw that out. Like,
Yep.
you know.
So listen, it's a busy week in sports, and let's start off with Major League Baseball, because I wanted to bring
We're
this
getting
up.
to the finish line in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, we're down to the Final Four, and it's pretty good. Obviously, New York fans are pining
Watching.
watching from the golf course and all that kind of stuff. But you dissed my Braves.
I did
last week.
I did. I was wrong. I thought Milwaukee was going to handle them. I thought Milwaukee was the better team. I said it, and I stand by it. I thought Atlanta was still a year or two away, but they've impressed. And you know what? I've always disliked the Atlanta Braves. I think it has to do with the Ted Turner aspect.
I'm
And
not sure. I always
I
kind of
appreciated
liked
the
that,
Glavins and the Mad. Don't get me wrong.
Of course
The
you did.
certain players I did.
Yeah.
I like this current group of guys. I do. This pitching staff is young, talented.
And they got Max Fried going
Right.
tonight, who's got the best ERA in baseball since the All Star
and the
break.
Braves all year were trying to get their engine going, and Ronald Acuna goes down.
And lucky they
What,
played in a weak
like
division.
June, late May, June.
Yep.
And the GM makes a couple trades, and before you know it, they go on a tear. And Atlanta.
Yep. So they're moving on. But the Dodgers, Giants, I was kind of pulling for the Giants.
Oh, I
you
was
know.
pulling for the Giants. Not kind of pulling for the Giants. But that was a classic, great series.
Exactly.
I mean, you
A 2-1 baseball game. People say, "How boring is
1-0
that?" going? It's
into the
like,
seventh,
it's not
eighth
boring.
inning in Game 5.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
It was great. Now, the way the game ended wasn't so great. I understand.
Could have ended one pitch after that.
I
too.
understand. However, a check swing strike like that, and this game,
He did not go around.
he did not go around.
Okay.
However, I'm not saying,
Yep.
but that could be the argument for the robot umpire. No,
Not
I'm-
in my lifetime,
God,
please.
no. But the point is, the Giants had such a great year.
They did.
And let's see if they can do it again next year. But tough way to lose. Dodgers deserve to win.
And why
I
was
like the Dodgers to go back to the World Series.
And listen,
actually,
I like
the
seeing
Dodgers.
Mookie Betts play, and I like watching Scherzer pitch. So I'm glad they're there. You know.
I tell you what, it was nice to see Max Scherzer after that game, like really celebrating. And this is,
Yep.
he deserves, man, if he gets a World Series ring.
And that's good for our listener Jim Smith from up in White Plains. He's a big Dodgers fan, Cowboys fan as well. So you
Right.
guys are in good shape. But how about the American League? In full disclosure, I didn't think the Red Sox could beat the Rays, and they did. I don't think they have enough pitching. I think Houston is loaded. That lineup is really, really good. I like the Astros in this series. What do you think?
Been thinking about this. Dusty Baker's the manager of Houston. For some reason,
Huge fan of Dusty Baker, by the way, too.
I am too.
Okay.
However, when Dusty Baker's the manager, you don't win the World Series.
Well, he hasn't yet.
So let
but,
me
you know.
finish.
Okay.
So Alex Cora, obviously, we killed him. He got suspended. He did
I like him too, though. Actually,
I gotta say, the last weekend of the series when the Red Sox were losing to Washington, right, and everybody was surprised, and all Alex Cora said was, "Gotta win tomorrow." Like he's in this press conference. It's not like Aaron Boone or something where
Standard
you got to
answers,
read
you know.
War and Peace and right. Alex Cora is like, "We're not playing well.
yeah.
We want to go to the playoffs. We need to win." I can't describe it other than I like Alex Cora, and I wish Alex Cora was the Yankees manager.
Right.
And I think Alex Cora is the difference here.
Yeah.
However, I think Houston's too talented. I'm going to go Houston, LA for the World Series with the Dodgers winning it. And
I'm not dismissing the Braves. Actually, upsetting
the Dusty Baker factor in Houston. And I don't want Houston because I still hate this team.
You know what?
I hate this team.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Enough
And
is
let's
enough.
not forget about it.
Enough is enough with this.
Oh, what?
This is still going on. They're
Yeah.
still banging garbage cans and wearing wires, like you guys said.
That. I can't say.
But they're loaded and they play in a.
I got to
a
give
tiny
them
little
credit.
field.
They're cheating somehow that we don't know about yet.
I know, but
See the advances of technology.
okay, but that's let's put 2017 in the
But
rear view
the
mirror,
accusations are still flying from the series.
And we talked about this even more than a
What,
year
sign
ago.
stealing or something was the latest greatest?
Right, but we always talked about whether this guy Altuve, if he's not wearing a wire, can be the player that we thought he was, and he's standing up. You got to give him credit. The kid's tough. He's tough, and it's never been proven he wore a bug zapper under his uniform.
Well,
I'm telling you.
If I was the commissioner of baseball, I would have Altuve not have to wear a jersey for a year every time he came up, just for my own peace of mind.
Right.
I'm kidding. Altuve, I liked him before this controversy. I can't say I've come back. No, I actually dislike him.
You loathe him,
I do,
actually.
because I actually think that this guy, I think he was wearing something.
I don't.
I do.
It's never been proven.
Well,
so,
I don't need proof. Remember the monologue? Do we need proof
No.
in today's society?
Nope,
No,
you don't.
just the accusation is enough.
That's right.
The premise of innocent before guilty.
Out the window. Anyway, so listen, it's exciting baseball.
Oh, it's great. It really is. And again, the Dodgers Giants to me was the essence of baseball.
And they were-
like not the baseball we grew up in, which we completely miss, but the atmosphere and everything around it. Max
Awesome.
Scherzer on the mound of the Giants, the rivalry,
Yep.
the games, 2-1.
The history of the Dodgers.
Totally.
No doubt.
And I thought that was fantastic.
But listen, I think, they should take it, but I'm not going to be surprised with the Braves. But in the American League, I like the Astros to move on to the World Series. That's my pick.
I said I think it's going to be them, but I'm not going to be surprised if it's the Red Sox. And
Here's an interesting thing that in the major leagues, the Cardinals fired Mike Schilt.
yeah,
3 years, his record's pretty good. He made the playoffs 3 years in a row. I
Yeah,
guess they call it
the what?
philosophical differences.
Really?
Yeah.
Why the incredible win streak they had at the end of this year? I mean, what did
17 games.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay,
Fired.
Mike. If it was 18, but 3 years. It's the Cardinals. The Cardinals do things
The Cardinals always make the playoffs.
methodically.
Yes.
And
Professional baseball organization.
difference of opinion, I can buy it. And maybe, maybe there's a guy in waiting or,
Well,
what
he'll
have you.
land on his feet. He's got a
Maybe
pretty,
they're making a play for a young Tony La Russa to come over.
Well, Tony's coming back for
Of
next
course,
year.
Tony's coming back. Tony's already at the country club, knocking back 7 vodka tonics
Right,
now.
but I can assure you,
You know who I am?
He'll call-
Yeah, you're a dick, is what you
he'll
are.
call an Uber this
No,
time.
he won't, because he's a dick.
Oh.
He's a douche.
Bleep, bleep, bleep. He's still only second behind Connie Mack in all-time wins.
Yeah.
That's something to say for that. Anyway,
I'm a Cornelius guy.
so baseball is in full force. And how about let's move on, Steve? College football. Right? It's college football weekend. Alabama lost last week. Georgia
Alabama
looks
lost.
good. So the top 5 is kind of shifted, right? We
Well,
watched
Alabama's out of the top 4.
yeah, but they'll be in the CFP.
Do you watch the game?
I did.
How great of a game did this quarterback for Texas A&M have?
Very good.
He also looked like he is 11, 12 maybe, facial appearance-wise.
Yeah.
But I'm an Alabama second behind Notre Dame. A lot of us.
We root for them.
I know, but people know we're Saban fans, and I've always been an Alabama guy since Bear Bryant.
Absolutely.
And the fact that they were losing, I was rooting for them, but I just couldn't not appreciate what the night this kid at Texas A&M had. I mean, and I hate Jimbo Fisher. I hate this guy.
Yeah.
But the quarterback for Texas A&M had a night he'll always remember. Beating Alabama, the number one team, and this kid delivered, man.
And the funny thing,
it was great. It was just a nice, great story.
But we talked about this on the show, not in the off season when Jimbo Fisher said, I could take on Alabama.
No, he said we're going to kick their ass.
Well,
Okay, he got one right.
okay.
All right.
And I'm not a Jimbo Fisher fan either.
No,
right?
not at all.
But so the top five, Cincinnati, they're looking pretty good, right? We talked about
They
Desmond
are.
Ridder.
I'm hoping they can crack the top four, at the end of the season, because their strength of schedule is going to bite them.
Interesting note in the Big Ten: there's 5 Big Ten teams in the top 10. It's the first time that's ever happened. So college football is awesome.
Iowa Penn State last week was a great game. Penn
Great
State
game.
got off to a good start.
Yep.
And Iowa weathered the storm.
They did.
Yep. I tell you, that was a really good game.
I saw a really good game. It was Syracuse Wake Forest.
That was outstanding.
And Syracuse had them on the ropes, and they let it slip away.
So Syracuse, since they put in this Garrett Schrader kid,
Yep.
about maybe 3 games ago, maybe 4 now.
I was impressed.
Completely have turned it around. Syracuse was struggling last year.
They had a good running back.
Listen, Tommy DeVito is a local kid from Don Bosco.
Well, he's not going to see the field anymore.
No,
you know.
I'm leading to that. Tommy
Yeah.
DeVito's starting status is
Yeah.
no longer. This kid Garrett Schrader is really a player.
Yeah.
What was the other thing I wanted to say was Penn State. Ohio State is on a roll now.
They are on a
You know what? Normally, an early season loss, not normally, it's the best time to lose.
Exactly.
Because everybody forgets about it.
Exactly.
Okay? But
Good
they
point.
have been on a roll.
Yep.
And watch out for them. And I'm going to the window soon for Ohio State's beating Michigan. I don't care if Michigan comes in undefeated.
Well, I
am telling
and
you.
I was
that's
talking.
happening.
I was leading to this last week, and then we got derailed. But if this is the year for Michigan, to catch a vulnerable, and they look. Listen, Ohio State looked vulnerable for a couple weeks, but now they look tough again. This is Harbaugh's chance because he does not survive if he goes 0-6 against Ohio State, right?
Yeah, he survives.
He survives.
Yes.
0-6.
Yeah.
Unacceptable.
Yeah.
Other big games.
And
this
Ohio
week.
State can beat Iowa. So if it goes to the Big Ten championship, it's Ohio State and Iowa. And offense is not the problem for Ohio State. It's been that defense. And they
I think they're playing pretty good, the defense.
well, they
lately,
fought,
though.
the longtime guy has been there. They gave the guy the keys to the defense. It was a disaster for 2-3 weeks.
Yep.
And Ryan Day's credit, they fixed it.
Yep.
And we shall see. But Ohio State's just way too talented.
But there's a couple of big games. And not so many big games that could move the meter kind of thing. But Georgia Kentucky's an interesting game.
It is.
Right?
You know what the spread is?
I
Take a
don't.
guess.
I'm going to say Georgia by 11.
21.
Whew.
Kentucky's pretty good.
They got a quarterback
And I
that
get-
puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
And I get
Will Levis.
I get that they're going to Georgia and Athens. That's a lot of points. And
But Georgia looks really tough.
well, Georgia's going to win, but Kentucky is, you know who the coach is, do you? Brother of Bob Stoops, Mark Stoops.
Mark Stoops.
Been there a while now.
A lot of Stoops.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think he leads credibility to the Stoops name. Mark Stoops has done a great job because Kentucky football has sucked for 40 years.
They've been getting pretty good
For
over the
40
past
years,
couple of years.
they've sucked.
I got you.
The biggest story was Jared Lorenzen,
Yep.
the late Jared Lorenzen,
J-Load.
J. Lode, right? Who passed away, 3-4 years ago now.
Yeah, something
right?
like that, right?
But Mark Stoops done a good job. Kentucky looks good.
Yep. Other big games, Florida, LSU.
Ed Orgeron is taking his LSU Tigers to
No, I'm
play,
not going to do
play,
my Ed Orgeron.
play the
brilliant
Florida
play.
Gators.
he does not survive the year if they lose
No.
today. He's gone on Monday.
He's not surviving the year anyway.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Put this in the bag.
All right.
This is Ed Orgeron's last year at LSU.
It might be his last game if they don't beat Florida.
No, they're not going to fire him. during the
Yes,
season.
they are.
No, they're
I
not.
think they're going to send a statement. This is what we talked about. You know.
And what's the statement?
He's been covering up
We're
dirty
a
laundry.
we're a
forever.
filthy program, and we're gonna what? Fire Ed Orgeron after losing to Florida when they're not even going to be competitive?
They're writing the "you're fired" letter as we speak. It doesn't matter whether they beat Florida or not. He's gone. He's not surviving the year.
He'll survive the year and get fired 8 hours after the season.
But here's another. It was another good game, Arkansas, right? And we talked about it because Walhan, our
Resident
Razorback fan from Arkansas.
See,
And they went for it. They went for the win instead of the tie
Now
last week, and it was a great game with Old Miss.
So when we were
you know?
just talking about games last week,
Yeah, that was a
what
good
was
one.
better than that?
That was great.
52-51.
Yep. And
Great game.
Yep.
And to your point, Sam Pittman, the coach, we talked about him briefly. Hey, made the right call. We go for the win there, no doubt.
I got to say, I like Dino Beavers at Syracuse.
I do too.
I like
actually.
what he's been doing with
I
that
actually
program.
do. I actually like Dino too. He's it's probably in his 5th year now or something like
I
that.
would say fourth, fifth
Why,
year.
why would he want to leave Syracuse?
He's not going anywhere.
exactly.
you know.
Exactly.
But anyway, there's one other game that's kind of interesting, and we know how how tough it is to win in that conference, the Southwest Conference kind of thing. Oklahoma TCU today. That's my upset pick of the week because I'm not impressed with Oklahoma, and I think TCU might steal this game today.
Normally, I'd agree with you, but this isn't one of Gary Patterson's best TCU teams. Gary Patterson, folks, is one of the best college football coaches out there, period.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Actually.
All right, Texas TCU, the Horned Frogs are 3-2.
Right.
I agree with your assessment. Oklahoma, I think, they're always overrated.
And now they benched the Heisman Trophy winner.
If they make it to the top 4, we all know what's going to happen, right?
Yep,
They're going to lose,
we've seen it.
right?
We've seen it. But that's my
don't-
upset
they don't-
college football game of the
Okay,
week.
I'm going to
right there.
disagree. I'm going to just say that TCU, this isn't one of his better teams.
Okay.
So I have to disagree on that one.
But college football is in full force.
It
too.
is
It's
mid-season, and
Love it.
Oh, love it, love it,
awesome.
love it.
Weather, it's football
Loving
weather.
every minute of
Would
it.
you believe?
Would you believe?
Anyway, so let's move on to the NFL.
The NFL.
And your monologue pretty much covered the Gruden story that we wanted to talk about. But let's see what else is going on. There's a lot of parity in the league.
Parody.
Yeah.
You mean PARODY comedy parody?
No, I mean,
PARITY.
So let's start with the AFC and the Buffalo Bills. They're looking really, really good.
They're looking
and I knew
very
that
good.
was a big game to go into Kansas City and beat it. Maybe Mahomes, is showing he's being mortal, if nothing else. But the Bills look really good, and you got to give them as the favorite to go to the Super Bowl in the AFC.
As of right now.
Exactly,
I mean,
and we tender this
nobody-
week by week. We
I don't,
get it.
yeah, I can't say anybody's playing any better than Buffalo right now.
Yeah.
They lost their first game of the season, and they have been just mauling people.
They have.
Allen is turning. I mean, just
And the defense is shutting guys down.
Everything's clicking. They look real good.
They do. What about your Cowboys are looking really, really good.
Yeah,
you know?
but again, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid yet. It's still way too early for this.
A lot of people are, though. They're saying they're walking to the Super Bowl, and I'm going,
Oh, please.
that's a little early, no? You got to be impressed with your Cowboys.
I am
though,
not
you know?
saying I'm not, but I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. The thing is, it's as simple as this. Number 4, if he's healthy, yeah.
They
we have,
win.
We
They
have
win.
a puncher's chance to get there.
And they got a
if
good
injuries
defense, too.
and blah, blah, blah. And Mike McCarthy can learn how to manage a clock from now until the end of the season.
He should be in
Okay.
class right now, trying to clock management class.
Right, he needs the Clock King from Batman.
That is obscure. Not
Right?
even Batman fans would get that.
Huh? Come on, people. Clock King, Batman.
Commissioner Gordon, who is it? It's the Clock King Batman.
Who the hell's the Clock King?
Devious.
Oh, yeah, one of the most devious villains out there. Ooh.
But you're right.
Clock King. Who are you clocking? Ooh.
But the NFL is. Listen, I wanted to bring up a couple things because we're Giant fans, but that hit on Daniel Jones was frightening when he stood up and started wobbling back.
I
He's
still
actually
don't
playing.
know how he didn't fall face down on his face.
Yep.
I mean, he was one spasm away.
And I saw the hit, and it wasn't a dirty hit. It's
No.
how we used to tackle when we used to play football.
I don't understand, though, when you're on the 2-yard line, why you want to subject your quarterback to that when you should just run it up the middle.
He did it on his own.
What did you
though.
see Barkley do the week before against the Saints?
I know.
Right up the middle.
And Barkley, too, another thing. You got to make
let-
sure he doesn't slip on a banana peel
Listen,
when he
again,
comes back.
Jason
I like this guy.
Jason Garrett's getting crushed. My point is, you dial up that play, right? Is the intent, hey, let's roll out and so we can get Daniel Jones?
No, but the first option was to find
But-
a tight end Lincoln, and he took it on his own.
But boy, did he,
Frightening.
It's just a ding on the head.
Yep.
And more than a ding, obviously. But Jesus, I don't know how he didn't fall down.
And he's actually playing this week, so
And
I was surprised by that.
And I
know.
tell you what, I talked to good buddy of the show, George Breen, this week. He's a diehard Giant fan. It's uncanny how Saquon Barkley twisted that ankle while he was running towards the middle of the field, and basically the play was going to the left of him. You can't make this up. Like, on a 100-yard football field, the chances of him stepping on some guy's foot on the cowboy
1,001.
and see that. I mean, I thought that ankle was like completely shredded.
Well,
at
listen,
that.
that's happened to me dozens of
Of
times.
course.
So,
My point being is this guy snake bit for
I know.
some reason?
Let's hope
I
not.
don't know.
Because I think he's got a bright future in this
don't know.
league. I think he's
don't
got
know.
that kind of talent. I'm a big fan of his, but that was a fluke. And I was joking about it. Make sure nobody eats bananas in the locker room so he doesn't slip on that before the next game when he's healthy.
Now, turning the attention to the green and white team in our area, I woke up Sunday morning and got up a little late and made a cup of coffee and turned the Jet game on.
Gotta love the 9:30 a.m.
Love
kickoff
it.
games.
20-7, I think the score was at that point.
I know, two horrible
Oh,
teams,
my
but
I mean,
that's the only thing I like about the London games is that they're on Sunday morning at 9:30 in the morning. It's pretty good.
yeah. My point is the Jets. Zach is still struggling, and we shall see. But the Jets are a mess.
And I'm actually going to see the Jets in person up in Foxborough next weekend. So I'll give you a first-hand report.
Right.
Listen, I said it. You've said it. We're big Zach Wilson buyers, but right now he's struggling. He's struggling as a starting quarterback rookie in this league. And this kid, you want to talk about a guy that looks like he's 16 years old? That's Zach Wilson.
Yeah. It looks like he's 17 when he takes the headband off.
I know. But like I said, Mike Garvey from Naples told me, he goes, Jets may not win one game or they may win one. And I said, no, they're going to win 6 or 7. And he poo-pooed me. He's looking better than I am right now. But as we said, Steve, it's early in the season. There's still 12 games to go. So let's not panic. I like this kid, and I'll give you a report on him next week.
Well done, Garvey. Well done.
Oh, I know. He's
6 or 7. I remember even saying that. I'm like, what are you kidding?
I like Salah. I like they changed everything, got rid of Gase. I thought that was worth 3 wins
If all
alone.
cylinders clicked, 4. Maybe. Maybe.
Well, that's how it's looking now.
That's 6 or 7.
Anyway, so here's our pick of the weeks.
Pick segment.
Picks of the week, right? So Minnesota, Carolina, I'm going with the Panthers. I just can't put my money on the Vikings anymore. They just disappoint week after week after week. McCaffrey's not playing. I get that. but I think they can still beat Minnesota at home, and the Giants and Rams. And unfortunately, the Giants just don't have enough to combat the Rams. I like the Rams. Those are my two picks.
Yeah, the Rams is a no-brainer.
Give me your two picks.
The Rams is a no-brainer.
Okay. We're aligned on that one.
Anything Texans, they go to the Colts.
You can't put your money on the Colts.
I am
either,
putting
right?
my money on the Colts.
Who they got this week?
Oh,
Colts?
Texans and Colts.
Oh yeah, then they should walk to that. But if I got $5 left in my pocket, I'm not putting it on Carson Wentz, no matter
the
what.
big game is Dallas is going to New England, and you know what? Cowboys have not won up in Schaefer Stadium.
I think they're 1-6 against the Patriots.
Right, but they never beat Brady.
Schaefer Stadium.
Thank you. Thank you. I was waiting for somebody to.
I'm
pick
sure
up
there's
on
a
that.
New England fan that could send us an email at sportswithmonoandmono@gmail.com. Schaefer Stadium.
All right, for the folks that don't know, it's called Gillette Stadium, but back in the day, it was Schaefer Stadium.
Yeah. When they were the Boston Patriots.
When they were
I
the
think.
Boston Patriots.
Yeah.
With Nick Bonicani.
Yes, he did start his career
That's
there.
right.
You're right. Good call. So the NFL, that's hot and heavy. And our NFL segment was sponsored by Lynch Toyota of Manchester, Connecticut, who, as I mentioned, I will see next week. He's a big Patriots fan, and I'll have my Tom Brady jersey on.
Beer here. Beer here.
I'm not sure if that means I'm going to get a beer dumped on my head or not, but
You very well may.
I think he's a legend up there that I could, safely go instead of wearing a Rangers shirt at a Flyers game. That's
Right.
That's not acceptable. So really quick, the NBA season is about to start,
Oh, baby.
right? So we signed our contract last night, so we can't
Who?
talk about that guy.
Exactly.
Still thinking the Lakers are going to win it.
You are.
And
I don't know about that.
no, it is all aligned for the commissioner,
Oh, will you
Mr.
stop with this? He did the same thing last year.
Listen.
It's all aligned for the Nets.
We were still in the midst of a pandemic.
I
Things
said
went
the
crazy,
Nets, but you keep doing this. It's all.
Well, no,
aligned.
I like
It's
them in the
fixed.
finals.
It's because the commissioner
Yeah.
wants it this way.
I will not waver from that position.
The Milwaukee
I'm sorry.
Bucks are still pretty good.
All right, so enough of the NBA here.
Oh, thank God. Good.
Unless we want to bring up the WNBA.
Why not?
First slam dunk in WNBA finals by Mr. Brittany Griner.
Mr. Griner or Mrs. Griner? Or both.
That's what I don't know.
A 7 foot. She's 7 feet.
But anyway, it's the Mercury in the sky in the finals. And,
I believe it's Mrs. Griner, actually.
I got it.
Yeah,
Just playing around.
I got it.
How about the NHL, Steve?
The
The
New York-
Rangers. I watched both their first two games of the year.
Yeah, but I had to work. Nights this week.
They took it on the chin in both games.
I
Lost the home
gotta
game.
be honest. Yeah, but I gotta be honest. I haven't had time to. I was working, so I haven't seen them yet. So my opening night is Game 3, whatever
Yeah.
the hell that is.
Yeah, they lost in overtime to the Dallas Stars, the Raj Gilbert
Son
night.
of a.
But I got to tell you, that Raj Gilbert little tribute, we talked about it when he passed away. It was great. 7-second moment of silence before the game.
Yeah.
His wife dropped the puck. It was great. We thought
And,
they'd come
and,
out.
and I'm still the Rangers. I'm still very upset that none of the current players had the wherewithal to attend Rod Gilbert's funeral. I still think that
Yeah.
that is a major PR blunder.
Yep.
More on the management. I'm not. I
agree with
I'm
you.
not expecting a 21-year-old kid from Sweden or Russia or
Right,
whatever
Nils Lundqvist
to
or
understand what Rod Gilbert meant to the Rangers. It's more the Rangers management saying, "Where's Kreider?
Yeah.
Where is Zabana?"
You're right.
So I'm still. But listen, it was expected to have a tribute like Roger Bear.
But the tribute
well
was-
deserved, obviously,
And well done by Madison
that's
Square
good.
Garden.
That's good.
Actually.
It's
It really
deserving,
was.
and
They had some highlights and some pictures and footage of him. We talked about it, wearing number 7 at that time with Mickey Mantle, and it was great.
see.
So hockey's getting, and the Kraken won their first game, right? So
Oh, the Kraken.
welcome to the NHL.
You know what? The first time I heard the name, Seattle is now going to be called the Kraken. I'm like, what?
Well, we had to Google and see what a Kraken was. And,
Right, but first of all,
I like the name now.
that's what I'm leading to my point. If you'd ever let me finish a point, Jim, I'd be most happy to finish it.
Go ahead.
I love the name now. The Seattle Kraken. That's a good name.
Yeah, let it be around.
I want to meet that dude or woman who came up with that name.
Yeah, I'm sure they gave her a free chicken sandwich at Chick-fil-A for picking the name. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She gets to move up in line due to the COVID when the line in the cars is like 9 miles long at
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A.
But this is the first time there's been a NHL team in Seattle, right? And the Supersonics moved out, and the Seahawks were the only game in town. The Mariners, they don't do nothing.
Yeah. I mean, Seattle, I'm kind of surprised NBA basketball is not in Seattle.
It may make its way back
we
there.
remember the Seattle Supersonics with Jack Sikma,
Yeah.
Dennis Johnson, the champs. I think they won it actually in '79.
They did win a championship.
They did. They won it in '79. Slick Watts. And
When we used to play basketball on our street, we had a hoop on the nailed to the telephone pole.
a piece of plywood.
I used to say my Jack Sikma. Remember, he used to.
Oh, absolutely. And I used to defend it well, if I remember
You did.
correctly. Right, because it took you 5 minutes to do your Jack Sikma hands up,
Yeah, yeah.
turn to the left, turn to the right.
Yeah.
Right.
But Seattle's got a NHL team in play, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I like the name too.
Yeah, no doubt.
So listen, let's move on to our random points of interest, and I got a bunch of them here.
You
today.
do.
Just real quick. I saw the Dan Campbell press conference, right?
I did not.
But
Tell me about Coach Campbell.
Well, he broke down in tears because his team gave their heart and soul, whatever. But I was looking at it, and I go, he looks like somebody. He looked like Johnny Cakes from The Sopranos. It's so funny. Look at it now when you see the next time. I go, that's who it is. It's Johnny Cakes.
Oh, that's who it is.
But I wanted to give something else out. I saw this and I had no idea. I actually played for this guy, John Lovett. John Lovett started his coaching career at St. Joe's, our alma mater. And I remember
right.
he was tough as nails. I was only a sophomore in his last year. He went on to become the defensive coordinator for Clemson, Bowling Green, Miami.
Yeah.
I mean, so I looked him up. His last stint was defensive backfield coach for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I saw an interview with him when he took the job. And I go, this guy was one of the toughest coaches. I didn't realize he went on to such prominence, though.
No.
I mean,
You and I were...
Bert Ammerman told me
Thank
this.
you. I was just about to say, Bert Ammerman was our high school coach, the legendary Bert Ammerman.
And he gave John Lovett a chance.
He gave John Lovett a chance.
Yep.
And John Lovett took that chance and has done very well for himself.
Yeah, but I didn't realize he had such a great
It's
resume.
a great
you know.
resume.
But I remember a specific play. I was 15 years old, and he started chewing me up and down. I'm just on the scout team here. But I just saw it, and I wanted to give a shout
Phil
out.
Hartman in Saturday Night Live. You should have come back with, "Hey, coach, I'm just an unfrozen caveman lawyer."
A caveman lawyer. Anyway, shout out to John Lovett.
I got one.
Go ahead.
May I?
You may.
Lamar Jackson's jersey is being retired at Louisville.
Okay.
Number 8.
Okay.
Joining the only other person to be retired
At Louisville?
at Louisville football, who's also a quarterback. I'll give you a hint.
Browning Nagel?
Our father thought he may be the best quarterback you've ever seen.
Not Browning Nagel?
Or number 19 for the Colts.
Johnny Unitas?
Number 16 at Louisville.
Wow.
But I think that's cool. I didn't know that. So Lamar Jackson and Johnny U are the only two guys that have their number retired, Louisville football.
on
I
that.
thought that was cool.
Yeah.
That's just me. I just thought it was cool.
But our father said of all the, and our father watched Marino and Elway and Peyton Manning. He said the best quarterback ever to play the game
Scott Bruner
No.
of the Giants.
was Johnny Unitas.
Absolutely.
And I believe my brother Thomas actually met Johnny Unitas, who was as gracious in the parking lot as I know he met him.
Did he
one
give
time.
him $10 so he could get a cup of coffee?
But that's interesting fact. Louisville.
Listen, the reason I bring that up is Johnny U fell on hard times with financially. Bad investments, this, that. Not that he was,
in the Bobby Orr mold, I guess.
right, but
Yeah.
I mean, Johnny U at the time really was in bad straits with some financial hardship.
What a shame,
But
yeah.
Johnny Unitas, man.
And we saw him at the end of his career with the
I was just
Chargers
gonna
kind of
say,
thing, which-
it's probably if I had to rank the saddest things, my finalists would be Joe Namath with the Rams and
Right.
Johnny U with the Chargers, and my winner is
How about Ken Stabler?
Joe
with the
Namath
Saints?
with the Rams.
Yeah,
Was
I
the
know.
most ridiculous thing
It was.
I've ever seen.
It was. But listen, talking about retiring numbers, the Washington football team is retiring Sean Taylor's
Yes,
number.
I saw that the Redskins.
And I saw it and I said, well, okay. The guy was really, really good, but he only played 4 years in this league to be
Did
put
he
up.
even play 4 years?
He did.
He
He played 4
He did
years.
4 years.
He did.
And what did he do again?
He was a great player. Though. No
Listen,
question
I know
about
all
it,
about
but,
Sean Taylor.
They retired Bobby Mitchell's number
I have
for Washington.
I have
and we
a
get
dear
that.
I have a dear friend, Greg, does very well for himself. Is a diehard.
Well, we're
Redskin.
very stringent
Let's
on
just
retiring
say
numbers.
He's
right?
got a Sean Taylor,
Following. No question.
altar, if you will, in his basement, and I'm like, what did he do? I get it. He was a good player.
Yeah.
You telling me Ken Houston's number is not retired for the Washington Redskins?
Right.
Oh, over Sean Taylor.
Right.
Okay.
Pat Fisher's has got to be retired.
Whatever.
I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm just saying we're very
Darryl
stringent.
Green.
His number's got to be
It
retired.
has to be.
It has to be.
But my point is,
But we're talking about that.
Kenny Houston was one of the greatest football players
He was.
we've seen.
He was.
And don't tell me Sean Taylor
He was definitely in the.
is that
Sunoco.
much better. Forget about it.
I mean, he died in a tragic way. No
He
question
did.
about it. It was
And,
horrible.
and don't think
you know.
that doesn't influence this
Of course
decision.
it does, especially now with the what's going on. But
And also, I think they're probably retiring because Gruden was sending emails to the Washington Redskins.
All right,
I'm kidding.
moving on.
It's in the news.
Right. But there was an interesting
Bruce
thing. And I saw a
Allen.
comment from Darrell Revis, who we both admit had a
Revis
great career.
Island?
Right. Great career, won a Super Bowl with the Patriots.
Hall of Fame.
But said he didn't enjoy his time playing for the Patriots. And I was laughing like, really? Otherwise, you go to the Hall of Fame without a Super Bowl ring, and you're saying the environment in New England was horrible?
I like that.
Is that a joke?
I like the Darrell Revis.
Yeah, but not on this point.
I
I mean,
don't-
you got to be kidding me.
I don't take-
As a player, I thought he was great.
I don't take issue with what he said.
Oh my God.
I get it. He won the Super Bowl.
Okay, so then don't play for the Patriots
Why? He
and don't
can't
win a Super
so
Bowl.
What? He can't say I didn't like my time there.
No.
What?
He just jumped on the bandwagon and said, "Oh,
This
the-
is Revis
the
Island we're
culture."
talking about.
He was a good player.
No, not a good player.
No question.
A great player.
I get it.
Hall of Fame,
And
no
Sean
question.
Taylor would have probably had the same career and gone down to the Hall of Fame as
I
well.
am not saying Sean Taylor would not have.
Yep. I wanted to bring something else up, Steve. We talked about last week, and you said
But let me finish real quick on Sean Taylor. Don't tell me in 4 years the record for us would be Gale Sayers for the shortest Hall of Fame career or a Terrell Davis. Don't tell me Sean Taylor is like a
No.
Gale Sayers
No,
on the defensive side.
4 years does not get you. At least Gale had
That's
6
my
years.
point.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know where you're going.
I'll take the you can retire his number.
Yep.
But if I hear Hall of Fame posthumously, forget about it.
I got you. Couple other things. We talked last week, and I looked up the numbers. You said Buster Posey, first ballot Hall of Famer. And I looked it up and compared his numbers to Thurman Munson,
Yeah.
who doesn't even get a sniff.
Okay.
And they're pretty comparable. Posey had more home runs, played in a more, friendly ballpark.
At the time,
He can't go in first ballot unless Thurman Munson at least gets back on the ballot. Look at the numbers.
yeah, but Thurman didn't play long enough. You're telling me Thurman Munson's
He played
numbers
11 years.
are equivalent to Buster Posey's 47 years he's been in the league now?
He hasn't been in the league that long.
You
That
know
was
my point. Buster Posey's got has to be in the
I
league
like him. I'm just saying, first ballot Hall of Famer? Nah.
for today's era.
Put Thurman back
For
on.
today's era.
Anyway, quick things before we wrap up. They ran the Boston Marathon this year again, right?
I'm
Moved from
familiar.
Patriots Day, right?
Yep.
Good to see that back after horrific events a few years ago, and
Yep.
I'm glad that's back on the map.
Yes, I attended all 4
Yep.
Boston marathons up there.
You did, huh?
Oh God, yeah!
Wow.
What a great day! Oh my God!
Yeah,
Let's just say we cut classes those days.
I'm
It's a
sure.
Monday.
You made a happy hour or two, right?
Right, Professor. Can I get an extension on that paper?
I didn't finish my term paper.
Said I had a bellyache.
Right. This other thing with the PGA limiting the length of drivers, I think what they're trying to do is stop people from hitting the ball 400
It's
yards.
the DeChambeau rule.
Right. That's exactly what it is.
Right.
The Bryson rule, right? Phil Mickelson, not happy about it.
Phil, well, you don't hit it that far anymore, Phil. You're 51 years old, for
Right.
Christ's sake.
But real quick, and this is funny because it's Steve and I.
Funny.
Paul McCartney comes out and dissed the Rolling Stones as a blues cover band. And I said, why would he even start this fire? It was funny. But I know you're so
I understand.
Rolling Stones. Didn't you think that was a little inappropriate to say? Especially at this day and age.
Well, Sir Paul is getting up there in age.
And he gets the right to say whatever he
He can
wants.
say whatever he
'cause he's
wants.
The, you know,
He's
that's
got
the
more mon-
Gretzky of music.
Totally.
We
He's got
get
more
it.
money than...
Yep. I just thought it was funny. Wanted to bring it up.
I got more money than you, Mick. That's what it
I
is.
know.
That's all it is.
When is enough enough? How many yachts can you water ski?
Well, I
behind? Famous
tell
line
you
from
what.
Wall Street.
Yeah, but I'm not, the Rolling Stones, everybody knows about me, but
Yeah.
I'm just not thrilled that they're out there without Charlie Watts. I mean, they got more money than they know what to
I know your
freaking do with.
feelings. I know your feelings.
That's all.
High school football today. Big game in New Jersey. St. Joe's, our beloved alma mater, playing the number 1 team in the state, the number 6 team ranked nationally, the Bergen Catholic Crusaders.
And they're well deserved to be ranked that
they got
high.
a lot of talent.
Yeah, they're going to beat up St. Joe's today.
I'm not sure.
Yes.
I'm thinking it's going to be close.
I'm sure.
But anyway,
No, it won't.
that's the biggest game in the state, and it's actually being broadcast live on NJ.com today.
And-
so if
and
you want to
le-
watch
and-
some high school talent, it's great.
And last night, Don Bosco got by DePaul 17-14.
They did. I didn't even know the score.
Yeah, the guy I coach with, Al Natoli's on the
Good.
DePaul staff.
We got Bosco next week, I think.
DePaul's good.
Yeah.
DePaul's good.
So listen, our notable passing segment this week.
C.
And I'm going to bring this up. She's kind of more from, I don't want to say show business, but I consider her a pioneer. Ruthie Thompson, 111 years old, was an animator for Walt Disney.
Right.
Going back to the 30s. When you talk about pioneer, this is where you had to draw each scene and then glue them all together. Now with the digital day and age, 111, Ruthie Thompson. First women into the Hollywood Camera Hall of Fame or whatever. So
Well
all the
done.
cartoons that we've been watching over the years, she was a pioneer.
Oh, yeah.
Wanted to note
Wow.
that.
Well done.
And from the world of Major League Baseball, Ray Fosse,
I made a comment. I said Ray
74 years old.
Ray Fosse passed away in 1970, facetiously.
After the Pete Rose collision
Right.
in the All-Star
Meaning-
game, right?
Ray Fosse was not Ray Fosse
Yeah.
after that
Yeah,
collision.
that was like getting run over by a train.
And I tell you what,
he never held a grudge against
I
Pete
know,
Rose.
but I tell you what, I thought about it all week for some reason since Ray Fosse passed away, and I was kind of debating inside me. I'm saying, again, we talked about Pete Rose last week. I hate Pete Rose.
Barf emoji.
But I was debating myself driving to work. I said, can I fault Rose for knocking Fosse over?
No.
Because Fosse felt it was an all-star game and didn't embrace or prepare for this collision,
Yep.
right? So I'm trying to be fair, and I'm saying I can't fault Pete Rose. I can't. I
Fault
can't.
him for 99% of the other things.
I
he
can't
stands
fault them for the effort of
Yep.
wanting to win the game.
Yep.
And at the time, them were the rules.
And
but
he
Ray
did-
Fosse
it did
passed
change
on.
his career.
Oh,
If
it
you
did.
look at his lifetime numbers, there, he played at least 10 years in the major league.
Yeah.
But he was 74 years old.
Wow,
he
good
battled
life.
cancer for
Oakland
six-
broadcaster, I think, for
and
a
he
long
battled
time.
this cancer quietly for 16 years.
That's
which
great.
is
Yeah,
unheard of.
Ray Fosse, definitely R.I.P.
You bet. So listen, everybody, thanks for joining us. And please send us a comment at sportswithmanoandmano@gmail.com. We'd love to hear what you think about today's show and going forward about topics you want to talk about. But thanks for joining us, Steve. Good monologue, good show. And we'll be here next week.
Thanks, everybody. Sportswithmanoandmano@gmail.com. And we thank you for your loyal listening, and we will talk to you next week.
3 words, go St. Joe's.
Let's go, St. Joe's.